Have you ever watched somebody lose their ability to do something that they love in their life? Like we all watch people as they grow older lose the ability to take care of themselves, take care of their yard or their house, to do the things that they feel like they need to do and be responsible for. But what about that person who's in the prime of their life? We've all seen someone, or maybe this is you, we've all seen someone be able to do something one day, something fun, something physical, and the next day they can't. And there's this tipping point or this thing that happens to where they can't do what they used to be able to do. And it reminds me of this guy that came in several months ago. Actually, I think it was about 6 or 7 months ago. And he came in and he was a runner. And he had been running since he was a very young age. He was a very competitive runner. And his wife was a runner. His kids were runners. They all ran together. It was something that they pushed each other. They're a very competitive family. And one day, his lower back started bothering him. And it got worse and worse and worse. And it got to where he couldn't run without pain. And so he started going to do things like physical therapy and things that, he tried to get over it. Brand new shoes and all the tricks and things that he thought was going to get him over it and get him over the hump to where he could continue to run. And it just didn't work. So he decided to come in and we took a look at his spine. And you're going to see this is a very common thing that we do. We always look at the spine, we look at it first. The green line, you're going to see there's an x-ray down below that says before. There's a green line that shows from the side view where his spine is supposed to be, particularly his lower back. And then there's a red line too on that x-ray that shows where his spine is. And it's always the burning question that I always ask is, if this is the green line shows you where your spine is supposed to be, if that's the healthy position, if that's healthy, is your spine, is the spinal cord that's inside that spine and the nerves that come off that spinal cord, are they healthy? Or are they sick when they're in that position? And his answer was a lot like everybody else's answers. When they see that there's a red line and green line problem, his answer was, it's sick. And I remember him thinking to himself, is this why I can't run? I remember him saying, I wonder if I could run if the red line and green line got better. And I said, you know what, look, you seem like a very competitive guy. And if I could challenge you to think like this, if I could challenge you to say, what if you ran a race? And this isn't running, but let's say there's a beginning and an end like all races. Let's say that if this is the beginning, you understanding, and you run the race to getting your red line to look like that green line, what if you started now? What if you started now and you ran that race and the finish line was your green line or your red line looking like that green line? Would you want to run that type of race? And he said, absolutely. I haven't run in years, but absolutely I would run that race. It'd been 4 to 5 years since he's run before. And so what happened was 2 months in, I'll never forget him walking through the door, and I remember just seeing him from across the office and noticing that he had his running shoes on, which was very unusual. Usually he was a blue jeans or khakis kind of guy, dress shoes, and I remember looking across there and seeing him. He's in shorts, he's in running shoes. I'm just going to go ahead and put two and two together. And when he came over, I said, you ran today, didn't you? Or you're about to run. And he said, no, I ran. Or some variation of that, if you want to call it running. And he did. He got to jog that day. And so what's beautiful about this is not too long after that, he inspired his wife to start running again. His kids got inspired to run again, and they all started running again together. And he never looked back. He actually finished that race, and we have this x-ray, the after x-ray that shows the finish line, if you will. There's really not a finish line because he's going to continue to do this, but there's a red line, and it looks a lot more like the green line. So when I got to ask him this, and this is the question I love asking my patients, I say, now that you see your red line, compared to where it used to be, is your spine, is the spinal cord, or the nerves in your lower back, are they still sick? Or are they healthier? Or are they just healthy? And you're going to be able to notice there's a huge difference between the before and the after. And he was actually able to say they're healthier. Now, his question was the same question a lot of people ask, is it going to stay that way? And I got to tell him, absolutely it's going to stay that way. And here's how we know, okay? We know that we deform the spine back to a better position. We also know that all we have to do, just like an orthodontist does, when they fix teeth, all they do is they give their patient a retainer. Give you something to do to retain the correction that you've made, and then just check up on it every once in a while. What if we did an x-ray every 6 months to find out if it's staying that way, if it's getting better, or if it's getting worse? And if it's getting worse, we'll know that we need to do a little work. What if we did that? And he was absolutely bought into the idea of, let's keep this way for as long as possible. So if you know somebody who's lost their ability to live their life the way that they want to live it, the things that they love doing, whether it's golf or running or working out, no matter what it is, just being outside fishing, hunting, all the things that make us happy, that bring joy to our lives, the things that give life its luster. If you are that person that's lost the ability to do some of these things, or you know that person, tag them in this post to let them watch this video and show them that it's possible. It's possible to get your red line back on your green line. And if there's a red line, green line problem that we find after we talk to you, then we'll give you some recommendations. And if you feel comfortable following through with those recommendations, then you'll move forward. And we'll see if you can run the same race that this guy ran and get you back to living your life the way that you want to live it. Give us a call and we'll set that up for you. Talk to you soon.